Good morning, students of class 4. Today, we are going to learn the first part of the lesson 12, Turkish Delight. I have already introduced this lesson to you in the previous class. So, I am sure, according to the instruction, you must have gone through the lesson and read it. I have already told you to just copy down the necessary things in your notebook, especially the word meanings and reading, and plus underline the difficult words in the book. So as a part of the practice of reading, I suppose you have done it. Now today we are going to have the first part, the explanation and the reading of it. So what I want to tell you is, you will have your book in front of you open, lesson 12, so that you can follow along with me, and if you have any doubt during the class, you're free to ask it. So we'll begin this lesson. Turkish Delight. Turkish Delight itself is a kind of it's a kind of dish. No, we cannot say it's a drink or something like that, but it is a kind of very sweet item which children prefer to have. It's a kind of jelly thing. I would like to, what is it, sugar coated. All right. So before I get into this lesson, I just want to bring you back to your childhood memories, when we were small, starting from class, it's like at the age of 3 and 4, we continuously hear from our parents that we should not talk to the strangers, or we should not entertain the strangers, or we should not receive anything what they offer. This kind of things are put into our minds right from the start of our childhood, so that we are aware, yes, I have a family, I have to accept things which I receive from my home, not from the strangers whom I do not know. So this kind of situation comes to us now and then. We feel like when we were traveling time, sometimes we go along with our family, sometimes opposite to us people will sit, they offer to us. At the moment we look at the parents' face, what they say, and some children, if they say or show some facial expression, only they will receive, otherwise they will say, no, my papa mummy has told not to take anything from the strangers. So it's all depend upon you, how, if your parents are present or parents are not present, what kind of choice you will make. Now, are you going to accept the things, or some very delighted to see things, or good things you see from somebody offer you, do you go for it? Do you take from them? No, we are not supposed to do it. So one similar situation is given you here in the book as a start of this lesson. Imagine you are in a park and a stranger offers you candy. Somebody will come and give you, and children always like this candy and something very sweet items or ice cream, whatever it is. So, and your mommy is around you, but she is busy talking to a friend. So you are sure that nobody is noticing you. That is the reason the stranger approached you with a candy. What will you do? So the question is, what will you do? Are you going to accept that candy, or would you going to say, yes, I'm sorry, I won't be able to accept this, I do not know you? Or, now this is a question put before you, the choice you have to make. What is your reaction? What you are going to do at that moment? It's all depend upon what you are going to do it. So similar situation comes into your life. What will you do? So read these questions and discuss possible answers in class. So few questions are given. Should I talk to the stranger? You are aware that nobody is noticing me, my parents are not around. Are you going to talk? to that person? Or should I accept the candy? No, or am I going to accept it? Should I tell my mother about the stranger? So the three questions are there. So you have to think and answer. Yes, in this situation, what will I do? No, some children very smart. They will fire them at back. No, they will, or quietly people will accept also. So it's all our choice that we make. Once it is told to us, they instructed us, parents instructed us, yes, I should not accept from the strangers. It is already registered in our mind, so we do not go for it. No, we say whatever temptation I have, yes, I feel like eating that. No, but it's already, it rings into my mind. Yes, my mother has told, father has told, or teachers have instructed us not to accept anything from the strangers, and it is to remain in our safer part. All right, so choice is yours. You have to make a choice in this kind of situation. All right, let us read it ahead. Please follow the book. A young boy has a strange encounter with an evil queen in a magical land. Already in the introduction I told you a boy named Edmund, how he ended up in a dream world, a fantasy world of a wicked queen, and what has happened. So this particular boy encounter means he come across this type of an evil queen in a magical land. Now you will come to know as we go ahead how he has landed over there. She tries to win him over with a sweet confection, that is a Turkish delight, sweet dish or delicacy. It's a prepared very attractive way, very sweet, and here it is named it as a Turkish delight, and leaves him with a choice to make. After all, that wicked evil queen has put before him to make a choice. Now let us see what type of choice he makes. What is the choice? Read to find out. So let us see what is the choice of this particular young boy has done in this difficult situation. All right, page 93. But what are you? Said the queen again. Are you a great overgrown dwarf that has cut off his beard? Now students, you will be wondering why the starting is with a question. I told you this is taken from the Chronicles of Narnia, a small part. So it has taken from between of that particular excerpt. So that's why it is a starting. By the time this boy has already reached the magical land, from there onwards the conversation continues along with the queen and the boy. So some extent they have already done. From there onwards we have. But what are you? Now after meeting the queen is asking this boy, what are you? Who are you? Are you a great overgrown dwarf that has cut off his beard? Now you know the dwarf. Dwarfs are like a small little creatures, little human beings. They do not overgrown, they do not grow. They are very short structured men, or usually it is men or women also can be. So those type of categories people are known as a dwarf, small men. Dwarf that has cut off his beard. Now she is wondering who this boy is. Is it like a overgrown dwarf that looking like that? No, your majesty, said Edmund. He said, no, I am not. I never had a beard. I am a boy. Yes, I never have a beard to say. Overgrown means that the dwarf have already become big. So naturally a normal human being's face that a particular dwarf will have. So the evil queen is mistaken, thinking that is an overgrown dwarf. A boy, said she. Do you mean you are a human being? So this queen is already wicked. She knows everything. So, but she is all the same asking, you mean you are a boy? Coming from means you are a human being. Edmund stood still, saying nothing. He was too confused to understand what the queen meant. the question meant. Means he was not able to understand, because when he saw the queen is normal like any other human beings looking, but when the queen asked that question, he was in confusion, but he stood still without movement. He remained. Answer me once and for all, or I shall lose my patience. Are you human? So the wicked queen was always remain wicked only, though it tried to show itself in a different way, but she said, you better say, otherwise I am going to lose my patience. Means I am going to become very wild, angry person. And we know that this magical power people, a person, one who is this kind of witch or witchcraft or queen, how they behave. They have a lot of power, evil power. So answer me once and for all. You tell me once and for all, otherwise you will see my losing patience. Are you human? Yes, your majesty, said Edmund. Edmund said, yes, your majesty, because he understood she is a queen. No, the majesty is addressing either queen or the king or prince or princess. We address this way, something of high authority with more lot of respectful way of addressing. And how, pray, did you come to enter my kingdom? This is like an expression. And how, pray, did you come to this? Oh my God, how did you come to this my kingdom? Please, your majesty, I came through a wardrobe. Now, he said, yes, I came through a wardrobe. Wardrobe is like a large cupboard for, usually we store clothes and all, no, especially in the theater, costume and all. We keep those department is known as a wardrobe. He said, I came through a wardrobe here. A wardrobe? What do you mean? The queen said, you came through a wardrobe? What do you mean by that? I opened a door and just found myself here. He said, I just opened one door and I found myself here, your majesty, said Edmund. Ha, said the queen, speaking more herself than to him. Now she is planning within herself. So she said, yes. So after means she was trying to speak to herself. A door from the world of human beings. I have heard of such things. As she spoke these words, she rose from her seat and looked Edmund full in the face, her eyes flaming. At the same moment, she raised her wand. Edmund felt sure that she was going to do something dreadful. Then, just as she gave himself up for lost, she appeared to change her mind. So as she was speaking, a door that coming from human beings world, means I have heard something of that sort, but she has never experienced. And she was speaking all these within herself. And she got up from her seat and looked at Edmund, at his face. Her eyes was flaming. No, after all, she is a wicked, so that natural quality will be there. At the same moment, she raised her wand. No, every what is that called? This kind of magical power people have a wand. No, magical wand, magical power. It has a magical power, and she raised it. Edmund felt, and as she was raising it, Edmund felt, yes, I finished. Now she is going to do something very harmful and dreadful, harmful. But at that moment, she changed herself, and Edmund surrendered himself, thinking that it will be over. And she changed her mind at that moment. So I'm going to stop the first part here. We'll continue the next part in the second part of the explanation of this lesson. So kindly read this lesson up to what I have told you and see the word meanings and underline the difficult words. Thereafter we will have the second part of the lesson and the explanation. Please read it many times. Thank you.